Applies to UFO questions in
No.
Klingon.
No.
Did you have that one?
I had that one. Gotta get rid of it.
A Welsh assembly minister recently asked the Welsh government 3 questions about UFO sightings and how the Welsh government handles them. The Welsh government replied in their make-believe Star Trek language of Klingon. Assembly Minister Darren Miller, a conservative in the Welsh Assembly for Clwyd West, CLWYD. How would you say that?
Wait, what was it?
CLWYD.
CL.
Clwyd West submitted 3 questions to the Minister of Economy, Science and Transport. He asked, will the minister make a statement on how many reports of unidentified flying objects there have been at Cardiff Airport since the acquisition of by the Welsh government? He asked, what discussions has the Welsh government had with the Ministry of Defence regarding sightings of unidentified flying objects in Wales in each of the past 5 years? And his third question was, what consideration has the Welsh government given to finding of research in the sightings unidentified objects in Wales? All right. According to Wales Online, the Welsh government replied, Jean vida jadylch ac gymffrach quaiach, which translated from Klingon means, the minister will apply in due course. However, this is a non-devolved matter. I butchered my Klingon, but whatever. BBC News says it is believed to be the first time the Welsh government has chosen to communicate in Klingon. To add insult to injury, or perhaps insult to insult, an assembly source said, the only extraterrestrial I've seen near Cardiff recently seems to be Darren Miller, which I guess is the guy, yeah. So, bravo, Welsh government. That was probably one of the coolest, nerdiest things you ever could have done.
Hot damn.
You know somebody's out there's going to call me on that too, like, you mispronounced that.
Yeah. I happen to have found some sound effects related to aliens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play one and see what it sounds like. Alien impact. Alien communication. You ready for this?
Sounds like a Daft Punk song.
Alrighty. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go over things to make sure we both have different stories. And then we'll be back.
Usually you want to get your story straight. I mean, let's make sure we have the same story before the cops come.
Oh, well, in this case, not so much. Anyway, so if you just happen to have tuned in, you're listening to Into the Other Side Paranormal Talk Radio, but you tuned in at the wrong time because we're going to commercial. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just over a minute.
Do you believe in time travel?
Whatever I please.
What if I told you I found a way to reach back into the past?
I got an idea.
Our world consists of countless portals that allow us to bridge time and space, each a doorway to a unique past. Loyalty is the only code, so I assembled my inner circle to join me. Chris Musgrove.
Do it again.
Ashley Leckie.
Greg, are you kidding me?
And Rebecca Kirschbaum.
You can't make deals with things that aren't human.
Using a device we call Pandora, it will be our compass as we travel back to the past by creating ripples in time.
Look out, Bill.
It's time to see what the history books got right. This is Resident Undead.
Alrighty. Hey, talking at the same time. Okay, so where are we going next? Do you want to go next, or should I go next?
I just went.
Oh, okay. So, let's see if I can play with music. There we go. I think that'll sound fun. That'll probably sound fun. I'm just messing with stuff by this point. So anyway, let's see here. What do I have? Is this the long one? I hope it's not the long one. If it is, no, it's not too bad. Actually, I think this is, most of this you already kind of covered. So, I'm going to move on this way. And, nope. That one's way too big.
Plus, it's cracked, so.
Yeah. This one I will go with. It's from National Geographic, so you know it's legit. The top 10 mass sightings of UFOs.
You know what sucks when, like, about National Geographic, is like when you're a kid, and, like, really that's the only, like, besides the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Like, you know, you got, like, the natives of...
The first boobies you ever get.
Yeah, that's the first boobies you ever see.
Other than maybe your mom.
No, I don't know. Don't talk about that. But the problem is like, I don't even know what we're talking about this. But you get like the beef jerky ones, like from like the extreme, like you know, outback people who just you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Like every once in a while you get that prime, you know, Islander, you know, experience, but a lot of times it's all beef jerky, man. It's just not good.
I hope we don't have kids that listen to this show.
Stay away from the National Geographic's kids.
Stay away from this show.
Yeah, stay away.
13 and older, preferably. Anyway, from National Geographic, the top 10 mass sightings of UFOs. Number 1 here, June 1st, 1853. Luminous objects hover over Tennessee College campus. As the sun rose over the campus of Burritt College, numerous students, who apparently were early risers in those days too, were startled to see 2 luminous objects in the sky. According to Professor A.C. Carnes, who reported the incident in a letter to a scientific journal, to Scientific American, before I say more things inappropriately, the first had the appearance of a small new moon. That's weird. A small new moon. While the other resembled a large star. Wait.
That's no moon.
That's the moon.
It's a space station.
I like it. Oh, and did they come out with... No, they didn't really come out with a lot more Star Wars stuff at Comic-Con.
Well, they had like that behind-the-scenes type thing. It was pretty cool, though.
Alright, back to UFOs. Yeah. Let's see. The small object then vanished while the bigger one changed shape. First into a globe, then into an elongated shaped parallel with the horizon. Man, this is horribly. My brain's not clicking on yet. The smaller light then became visible again and increased rapidly in size while the other object shrank. The 2 objects continued fluctuating in a similar fashion for the next 30 minutes. Quote here, the students have asked for an explanation, but neither the president nor professors are satisfied as to the character of the lights, wrote Carnes. He himself speculated that the occurrence might have been caused somehow by atmospheric moisture. The incident remains a mystery.
That might be at Kentucky College, though. Not Kentucky, but Tennessee. The professor goes in and reapplies for tenure, and they're like, "You're continued."
Yep. Oh man, we really need to start doing this more. Either that or I'm just gaining dyslexia at some point.
Dyslexia?
Yeah, there you go. Number 2, April 17th, gosh darn it, there I was. Dyslexia. 1897, purported UFO crash in Texas. At about 6 a.m. that morning, according to contemporaneous Dallas Morning News account, citizens of the small town of Aurora were awakened by the appearance of what the writer referred to as an airship. The craft reportedly malfunctioned and stalled and crashed into a windmill on the property of a local judge, scattering debris over several acres. Quote, the pilot of the ship is supposed to have been the only one aboard, and while his remains were badly disfigured, enough of the original has been picked up to show that he was not an inhabitant of this world, according to the Morning News account. Skeptics long have dismissed the account as a hoax, but in 1973, a United Press International reporter located a 91-year-old resident, Mary Evans, who recalled her parents visiting the crash site and telling her that the body of the UFO pilot had been buried in the town cemetery.
That's the one I was just saying about, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, by that point, yeah. Battle of Los Angeles. If you don't know what the Battle of Los Angeles is, we already talked about it too. you can easily just type in Battle of Los Angeles, and not the Hollywood movie that just came out, 2-3 years ago, but the actual account that was kind of based off of.
Not the Rage Against the Machine album.
Yes. Now tell me if any of these are what you talked about. January 7th, 1948, saucer appears over Kentucky.
Yeah.
In Madisonville, Kentucky.
I think so.
Okay. Number 5, November 2nd of 1957, fiery object seen over Texas. I think I remember that one. Do I remember that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Kecksburg. Did you read about that?
I don't think.
Okay. December 9th of 1965, the Kecksburg incident. Numerous residents of the small Pennsylvania village, about 40 miles from Pittsburgh, saw an object that some witnesses described as streaking green fire across the sky before it crashed in a local field, just before 6 p.m. That evening. Local resident Bill Buellbush, who was working on his car when he saw the object, described it as acorn-shaped, about twice the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. Acorn-shaped and twice the size of a Volkswagen Beetle. He said that it glided slowly before making a U-turn and going down. A local fireman, James Romansky, later described the downed craft as having hieroglyphic-like writing around its bottom ring. He only got to examine the craft for about 15 minutes before government and military officials arrived and ordered everyone from the scene and posted armed guards around the perimeter. Subsequently, there was speculation that the object may have been a Soviet satellite, but UFO researcher Clifford Stone, who spoke years later to former Soviet officials, said they insisted that the object had not been one of theirs. After investigative journalist Leslie Keene filed a Freedom of Information Act suit, NASA revealed in 2009 that documentation on the case was missing. Go figure. Number 7. March 24th of 1983, V-shaped lights in the Hudson Valley. The suburban area, about an hour's drive north of New York City, was the scene of more than 5,000 UFO sightings from 1982 through 1986, perhaps one of the biggest clusters of incidents in history. One night, March 24th, stands out because of the sheer volume. More than 300 residents called a local UFO organization's hotline that night, reporting that they had seen large V-shaped array of lights that moved slowly and almost silently through the sky. Some witnesses got close enough to say that the craft was big enough to be a flying city. Jeez.
Could you imagine working the phone that night when that many people called and having to take down all the information?
Not even from the UFO hotline, but from 911.
Yeah.
That would be... You would have to...
How do people... when was this?
1983.
So that was before, Google or what? How do they get the number for a UFO hotline? I mean, it's not just...
It's probably some local thing somewhere.
But still, I mean... If an alien walked in here right now, would you know how to get a contact with your local UFO hotline?
Wait.
You're going to Google it.
Contact MUFON.
You can change your name in the contacts app. If you'd like me to call you something else, just say change my name.
Sorry, yeah, it's a good old British man, Siri, apparently. Let's see, Hunt Middleton, a local resident who had just stepped off a bus from New York City at 7:30 p.m., described a row of 6 or 7 extremely bright lights. Quote, they were all blinking on and off, and they were red, blue, green, and white. I knew it was not any type of conventional aircraft because the lights were stationary. It was just hovering in the sky. Middleton said that he watched the object for 5 minutes before going inside his house to get his family to come outside and see it. By then it was gone. And that was kind of like the first time that myself and my group of friends saw that triangular object around here. We were coming back from Wilmington. We were coming back from a buddy's birthday. We had it at B-Dubs. And we thought it was just one of those light poles that you see. But most of those have singular lights going all the way up. This literally looked like, when we first got on it, it was low enough to where we thought it was on one of those emergency pole things.